Noel Gallagher, how are you?
Sensational.
In the heat of the moment, finally released. Was it an obvious choice as the first song to let people hear from the new record?
Not for me. It wouldn't have been what I would have chosen, but the ones that I would have chosen are too long and would have required a bit of a harsh edit for the radio. So I've got a little team who got together and kicked it round a bit, and that's what they come up with. And I was like, yeah, I suppose, yeah, all right, whatever.
As always with stuff you've released in the past, it's got a great B-side, Do the Damage.
Yes.
I don't suppose you write a song as a B-side, and I know you didn't in this case. Is there not a fear of great songs getting lost in the days of downloads when people might just download the A-side?
No, they're all out there, you know, they're all, if you want them, you can find them, but I don't, yeah, you're right, I don't sit down and write B-sides. My God, if only I did. You know, Oasis's third and fourth albums would have been better, you know. But I just write songs, and the reason for songs ending up as B-sides, in the majority of the cases, that, you know, they either are not lyrically great, or they kind of just not a great song, or I don't know. There's just something that separates them from the stuff on the album. But you can find them all out there anyway. And anyway, I like to have little things that when you do at a gig only a certain amount of people know, because it means that the majority of people will be going, oh, what's this is great. And I like the fact that the people who love you the most will find it, and it's kind of a little thing between you and them, you know what I mean?
Now, you produced the new album Chasing Yesterday yourself. Was that a challenge at all?
Well, I didn't set out to do it. It was already half finished by the time I decided that I was going to produce the album, so not really. I don't like to challenge myself in any walk of life, you know, whether it be writing, recording, or doing gigs or anything. I just I just do what comes naturally to me, and I've always got the songs written before I go in the studio, and I always have about anywhere between 20 and 30 to choose from, and I just keep recording until I feel I've got an album, and I don't really go there with any great concept, or I'm going to make an album like this, or I'm going to make an album like that. So no, not really. It felt quite natural to me.
Did you learn anything from the experience? I don't suppose when you were recording stuff in the past, somebody had a big stick anyway, so you knew what you were doing.
No. I mean, if I've learned anything, would be I probably won't make another record in London.
Okay.
There's just too many temptations.
Oh.
Because the last time I did a record in LA, I'd been there for 4 months, and I was kind of adopted a Los Angeles lifestyle, which was quite healthy and clean living, and you know, all that. Tried to make this record in the midst of, you know, going out 3 times a week, and kids and blah 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 and all that, and school holidays, and so we didn't really get a good run at it. It was kind of a bit stop start. But if I've learned anything, would be next time it's probably better to go and block, you know, 3 or 4 months off and kind of work at it every day, as opposed to trying to make it in between my hedonistic lifestyle.
When you recorded the first Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds album, did you always see it as an ongoing project, or did it feel like a one-off at the time?
Oh God, no. It felt like the start of, this is going to be a long-term thing for me. No way. I mean, I see this as the follow-up. Well, actually, this album, I don't think I'd ever be able to follow up the success of the previous one. That was just a moment in time that was magic, you know what I mean? All the singles that came off that, and it was great. So I'm not really trying to compete with the success of the last one. But no, I'm already thinking of the next. In fact, I'm already halfway through the next one, so I'm not even thinking of anything other than what I'm doing now. I'm enjoying the creative place that I'm in immensely, and I just want to keep it going for as long as possible.
I'm really looking forward to hearing Chasing Yesterday, but March does seem an awful long time away. I bet you can't wait to get these songs out.
I actually finished it on July the 14th is when I finished mastering and everything. I came home from New York with it in my pocket on July the 15th, and I will have been, by the time it comes out, I will have sat on it for 9 months, which is ludicrous and very frustrating, and something that I'm not pleased about. But because I'm on my own record label, and it's run out of the same office as Big Brother, which looks after the Oasis affairs, and the two Oasis reissues were happening at the same time. I've kind of had to take a back seat to that, really, and wait for those to run their course, and then I get kind of all next year to myself. But that's just the kind of way it is on an indie record label. You kind of, you can't fight battles on 6 fronts. Do you know what I mean? You've got to pool all your resources, and the Oasis things came first, and that was it.
For as long as I can remember, there's been periods of time when people have said guitar music and rock in general's on the decline, but it always does seem to bounce back. Do you think music's in a healthy state at the moment?
If you ask my 14-year-old daughter, it's the best that it's ever been for her.
Yeah.
But you're asking me, a 47-year-old father of 3, I hate it, because the music that I like is, not only is it marginalised on the radio, not on XFM obviously, but even at festivals now, guitar music is more on the second stages and in the tents. You see the big festivals now; they're all pop orientated. So for me, it's worse than it's ever been. But who am I to say? Do you know what I mean? In my heyday, when I was in my 20s, it was great, and we kind of cling on to that a little bit, But it depends who you ask. It's not really fair to ask a person of my age. Do you know what I mean? It's like ask a 16-year-old. I suppose they would. It's certainly not as prevalent as in the charts as it used to be, and that's what annoys me more than anything.
Does that not, to an extent, if you're a fan of that sort of music, makes it more exciting because it's almost like it's out of the mainstream? It's not in the charts.
My whole battleground was the charts. My whole thing for starting was to get in there and stamp out Wet, Wet, Wet and Phil Collins and all that, and to finish them off. And in any given week, when we were going, and the top 10 would be us, the Manics, Pulp, the Verve, Blur, Elastica, do you know what I mean? Ocean Colour, all that. And you're not telling me that it was for me, it was better. Do you know what I mean? And now the top 10 in every given week is somebody featuring somebody else, who's produced by someone else, and the song sounds like the rest of the other 9 in the top 10. So I'm not having it myself, but my daughter, she loves it.
Do you listen to much new stuff coming through? Or do you tend to stick to your old favourites when you're listening to music?
No, I try. That's the great thing about iTunes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of the biggest record store in the world. So, I don't really read music press as much as I used to. So I'm not really aware, but the people who I know who are in bands will say, "Oh, have you heard such and such and such and such?" And then it's very easy to go on iTunes and check it out. But I do buy a lot of new music. Yeah.
I thought you were brilliant when you did Gogglebox for Stand Up to Cancer. I thought it was a wind-up when I first heard about it. Like the reports about Liam going into the jungle for I'm a Celebrity. Had you watched the TV show before?
Gogglebox?
Yeah.
I'd seen it, yeah. I'm not an avid fan, but I had seen it, yeah.
So no problem getting involved, and for good cause as well.
Yeah, I mean, me and Kate were on holiday, and she'd been asked to do it, and she said, "Do you fancy doing it with me and Naomi?" I was like, "What? Sat in between you and Naomi Campbell with my reputation? Bingo." I was like, "Yeah, go on then." And then within 10 seconds, she called Channel 4 and said and confirmed on my behalf, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's really happening then, okay." And we had a great night. I got to say, they're 2 of my oldest friends, and we had a good laugh doing it. I was plastered by the end of it, I've got to say.
Do you sit and watch the whole programmes?
No, what happens is they leave you in a room, the three of us, and there's a TV monitor and a speaker underneath, and you're heavily prompted as to what to talk about. So they'll say, right, what's coming up now is a clip of Downton Abbey, and what's going to happen is fucking some twat here is going to be cheating on some bitch there, well, they don't know about it, and want you to comment on what's going on. And I've never seen Downton Abbey. I thought Downton Abbey was a documentary on Abbey Clancy. It was called Downtown Abbey, and I just like, it's just a load of idiots in top hats. And so you got to comment on that. Turns out Kate watches everything on the telly. She was like, "Oh no, darling, you see him? He's a right bastard, darling." Just like, what the fuck? I don't know who. And Strictly Come Dancing. It's just like, I hate Strictly Come Dancing. I hate it. I think it's a stain on British society. If I had it my way, I'd have it taken off the air this afternoon.
It does baffle me.
It's nonsense. And do you know what I hate more than anything, and I've never seen it, and I hate it, is the Great British Bake Off, and I've never seen it. Me and my wife, right, is Sarah from Edinburgh, right?
Yeah.
We were coming home one Thursday morning. We've been out all night. We were trying to get home before the kids got up for school, right? So we're in a mini cab at like 10 to 6, and the news came on in the thing, and it was something happened where somebody threw somebody's cake in a bin behind somebody's back, right? So we're slightly out of it in the back of the. We've been up all night drinking, and so this news report started about, and the Great British sensational scandal on the Great British Bake Off is Billy Arseface, he threw somebody's souffle in a bin, and I was looking at Sarah going, this is like what Not the 9 o'clock news used to spoof in the 80s. This is fucking national news. And then the next day we got up and it was on the front page of the newspapers about somebody throwing a fucking scone in a bin. And it's like, what kind of country do we live in? It's unbelievable. And then I've got, the odd time when I go to school to pick the kids up, you see the posh mums. Oh, did you watch Bake Off? Did you see Bake Off? Oh my God. It's like, fuck off, seriously. Bake Off. Right, you fuck off. The Great British fuck off. That's what you need.
I was wondering what you think of the whole Bandied 30 concept. It's a great
tonight. Thank God it's them instead of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's a great cause and all that, and I downloaded it, but I could have just donated directly. I know they say it's not about egos, but I'm very uncomfortable about the whole thing and sort of rehashing this and for a different cause.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's about egos. I'm not sure about that. But what I would suggest is that they do a new tune. There's enough talent in that room with Chris Martin and Bono and Rita Ora and all good, great people to write a different tune. Surely Do They Know It's Christmas has been done to death. I think people would respect it more if it was like a new song. Do you know what I mean? But they're trying to save people's lives, so what can you say? You can't argue with it, you know what I mean?
Totally. You're back in Scotland just after the album comes out to play the Hydro. It's no surprise that it sold out pretty quick.
Sounds like a wine bar.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great arena. We've needed something like this in Scotland.
You just had the MTV Awards there, right?
Yeah. It's a great place. Went to see James there on Saturday. It's
James who?
The James.
And that's an old joke, then. It's still a belter.
Now, you've done some legendary shows in Scotland, going back to that legendary night at King Tut's, playing the Barrowland, Murrayfield, Loch Lomond. Any Scottish gigs that particularly stand out for you?
Irving Beach.
Ah, yeah.
In the tent that's used for tea in the park. We had that tent and put it up on Irving Beach, and it was that kick-started the madness for us. That kick-started us. That's when we stopped playing theatres and clubs and went into playing arenas and tents. And the bill that day was us, Ocean Colour Scene, Cast, and a band called Smaller, who never really got anywhere, but great, on the Verve, I think, actually.
Wow.
2 great days, yeah. I've got a great fondness for Scotland and the Scottish. My wife being Scottish, of course, but even before that, I mean, I actually chose my wife because she was Scottish.
Good taste.
Not that there was any kind of wife X factor going on when I met her, but it did help that she was Scottish.
Finally, last time we met was at Tea in the Park in 2012, and at least once a week someone comes up to me at a gig and says, haha, saw that interview you did with Noel and you thought he was Liam because I thought you'd done Heaton Park with the Roses. Can I just play you this quick clip?
Yes.
You've already gigged with them this year.
I haven't gigged with them this year at all, actually. I haven't seen them yet. This will be the first time I'll see them.
Did you not play Heaton Park?
No, I'm Noel, by the way. That was Liam.
Was it Liam?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I am Noel, aren't I?
Yeah. So BDI played those gigs?
Yes, BDI played those gigs. Yeah. They weren't playing my songs, though, so I can see where the confusion's coming.
Yeah. I'm never going to live that down.
Oh, well, never mind.
Noel, as always, great to chat.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll see you next year when you're back in Scotland. Good luck with the new album.
You will see me at the Hydro. I shall be carrying a copy of the Racing Post and wearing a red carnation.